We must defend our rights, for we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from unlawful. Nothing but Christ is meant for we will pray. Then let us die with the passion of peace. Now to the consecrate a nation, oh Fatherland, please be our sovereign pledge. Defending thee shall be our dedication. Singing abroad will cause a privilege. The waving storm, the bridge memories, the fleet shall not rescue the flood of liberty.
One another, hey, hey. No, me and what we do without my Biafra. Me and what we do without praising the Father. I know we do without my fatherland. I must to fight and defend my father's land. Even a Biafra now we hope. Oh, yeah, when I'm on the go, I want to be a protector, see Biafra, we can hear. Biafra now, oh, yeah, when I'm on the go, I want to be a protector, see Biafra now we hope. Chukwoki cake and let the liquid that they do is falling. Now I can see my new nation Biafra rising. I'm feeling good, very high. No matter what them do, they cannot bring us down. They be killing us for so long, raping our women they for so long, stealing our resources for too long. Oh my Father, we don't know what to do, what's going on. We need the freedom to carry on. Give us the power to overcome. Oh my Father, we don't know what to do. We want to be on our own. Our home is our own. We want to be on our own. Our home is our own. I want to be a protector. See me a friend. Be a friend, my original. I want to be a protector. See me a friend. Somebody's the right and give it up. Now when you fight, you go carry on. Never pick up the piece of a broken heart and bring them together to achieve it where you go. When they fight, then we are the back. Do you know this? I don't know what you call them. I be good. When I, Lara, the guy don't know why I got the gap. I forgot and disaster. I ain't happy. You can see why I'm a kid. I keep going happy. The Zuru, the success, and anybody I fear. Then I just see where you're done. Oh, you see a bad mother, oh, you see one of them, oh, you guys, oh, yeah. Chukwoki Kede. I didn't need it. Enemy are right and then they won't see. But this time around, I get very easy. Make up with more than I want to do. We want to be on our own. Our home is our own. We want to be on our own. Our home is our own. We want to be on our own. Me and what we do without my Biafra. Me and what we do without praising the Father. I know what we do without my fatherland. I must to fight and defend my father's land. Biafra now we own you. Onyabona malugo, abatobi ekwetako si Biafra bukayo. Biafra na ma original. Onyabona malugo, abatobi ekwetako si Biafra now we own you.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people, wherever you are, all over the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is still Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Uchi Okafomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. He is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And of course, as I always say, one day we will all understand the implication behind those words. Mazi Chukafomefo is standing on a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Prince of Afari Ibeku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom, the one and the only man who stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people. For almost 60 years now, nobody has done that. As Nnamdi Kanu is from Afari Ibeku. Afari Ibeku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State, and Abia State is Biafra land. He's the director of Radio Biafra as well as Biafran Television, the one and only man that commands the loyalty of the Biafran people, I must tell you, across the globe. By the special grace of Chukwukika Abiyama, I remain George Onyibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. Of course, we must proceed to acknowledge the Creator, the one who sits in heaven and presides over the affair of man, for he is the lifting up of our head. He is our guide and stay in matter both great and small. He remains the primordial influence that drives us in everything we do, and so I will humbly, as always, appreciate him. Anyị na-aja gị mma o, n'ihi na ị mara mma ị. Ịhụnanya ị na-agị, obiọma gị, o juru anyị anya dadị o. Inwe gị mgbanwe o, ọ dịghị onye dịka gị. Ị bụ Alfa na Omega. Anyị niile na-asị na dị mma o. And as always, our people must remain focused. Our people must remain guided. Our people must remain uncompromising. Don't let anybody deceive you. It's always this way. It looks impossible at the beginning until it is done. There is no shadow of turning back. There is no middle ground for negotiation regarding what we are here to seek for. For it's either one way or the other. Of course, our topic this evening is simple. The manuscript from Britain called Nigeria. And most of you who followed us in the early morning segment of this same broadcast, we went with the same topic. The manifest from Britain called Nigeria. Of course, this should be the second series of the same topic. We were able to look at how the leaders of the zoo called Nigeria, the president constantly interweaving themselves, making sure they play by the rule. Look at the categories of president who played by the book, the manual, the remote control. They function as they were instructed to function from Britain. And those people were allowed to serve their tenure and go home peacefully. We have other people who we can say they are ignorant or maybe innocent, who actually meant well for you as a zoo citizen. And majority of them was murdered. They were all murdered. And then we have the other third category, about the ones we call the political reformers. You call them your founding father. They are the game changer for British government. But of course, I will not waste much of our time trying to begin to re-explain to us on that aspect. But you can go back to Radio Biafra Facebook page and follow up on that very series. But of course, it didn't end there. That is why we have to proceed so that you understand what we are really trying to make you to see. One way or the other, you shall see it. You will know the truth. And our target is that the truth will set you free. And so once again, I will start by reminding us the definition of the manuscript. It simply means a book that is written from a submission, a publisher to, from the author to a publisher. It could be a book that is about playwright, but somebody writes a book, for instance. And then from that original document, they give it to a publisher and say, help us type this book. Or somebody writes a movie, and then they gave it to the actor or the producer and say, please, we want you to play out this script. And now, as the actor or the producer, you must play by the script. This is how Nigerians have been functioning. And so every president that have ruled Nigeria, from the creation of Nigeria till today, the independence of Nigeria till this day, have to play by the script. Those who refuse to play by the script were hunted down. They were murdered, and they can never be remembered in the Nigerian terrorist state. But it didn't end there, because this morning we were able to look at the executive playing by the manuscript. This evening we are going to look at the combination of the legislature and the judiciary when it comes to playing out the manuscript. So when you see Nigerians doing certain things they are doing, you don't blame them. They must follow the script. Of course, those of you who have TV that have remote control, or DVD, or any electronics that have remote control, as the case may be, the moment you want to on, you have a play button. And the moment you press the play button, it is expected that that very electronics begin to play. For instance, if a DVD, it must begin to play the disc. But failing to do that means that something is wrong. It's either discarded or condemned. The same way is how Nigeria is. British government have properly, from time immemorial, document the stupidity you see manifesting in Nigeria. You can't change it. The only way to change it is to destroy Nigeria, and that is the reason why we are here. But of course, our people must understand what is at stake. So when you are saying, oh, let's try, Nigeria is still a young nation, let's see what you can do. No, there is nothing you can do. The author has finished his job. The publisher must abide. The producer of the electronics has finished his job. The owner must command the remote to do what is necessary, or else all of them are useless. That is the same way Nigeria is. Having considered the issue discussed earlier today, it is important that we look at other categories, like I said, regarding this manifest, this manuscript from Britain that they call Nigeria. You all can see clearly that this is the truth. If you are in Nigeria, with the present manuscript, and you ever thought that Nigeria will change for better, and then I can assure you that you are you're going to be in a very long ride, and you will wait in vain. As far as Nigeria is concerned, there is nothing like progress. There is nothing like advancement. There is nothing like development. Nigeria is doomed, and that is it all. Because the people who created Nigeria actually installed a pendulum of chaos in place. The more you try to rectify it, the more you destroy. But of course, you may not be able to understand all of them, but let's see how we can be able to open your eye, so that when they are misbehaving, you will know where they are coming from, and certainly you will know where they are going to. When our leader, Mazen Kano, started broadcasting on Radio Biafra, one of the things he taught us is that we are 100 steps ahead of Nigeria. And I begin to wonder, yes, he's a prophet. Yes, he's a man who saw tomorrow. But how did he receive this anointing? Because he don't go to Yoruba church. Where did he receive this anointing? But there is nothing mystical about that. But he saw the manuscript. We have the manuscript. And he said, look at Nigeria. This is how they function. Very pathetic, I must tell you. Very predictable. But of course, the British government do not have the time now anymore to modify this manuscript. And so everybody must see them for who they are. BBC they can be doing every kind of drama they want. They can try to deceive you. But remain focused and watch Nigeria. You will see Nigerian bleed, shame, and disgrace according to our leader. Because that is all that is left of them. And of course, British government will not be spared by this info. You know, there are a lot of videos online now. Oh, leak video. Is it Mexico or is it which country? Turkey. Hey, leak video. Turkey giving ammunition to Nigeria. Oh, we trace the gun to Boko Haram. Oh, it's evil. Hey, all of you are the same. If you like, trace nuclear warhead to Nigeria. Anything you people like, say. It doesn't concern us. The only thing we want is Biafra. But our people must understand the very situation we have found ourselves. And so this evening, we are going to briefly look at this same manuscript as it affects us as a people coming from the legislature and the judicial sector. And most of you see a lot of things. You just think it's a way of life. Well, they are trying to grow. This stupidity you are seeing being exhibited by Nigerian useless criminal-minded politicians has been there for as long as the amalgamation of 1914. From the very moment they decided how to divide Africa in the Berlin Conference, this manuscript was perfected. It can never change. That is where they made mistake. Because most of the things they did, they would not have done it. But to them, they have come to the perfect stage. But nobody is perfect except only the Creator. Number one, the first person who ruled Nigeria is terrorist Lugard. And so we have so many constitutions that place Nigeria on this road to destruction. British government, after amalgamation of 1914, after the Berlin Conference, herited Nigeria as a exploit of terrorism. You have Francophone, Anglophone, Arabiaphone in Africa. Those phones on top of your head, they are enjoying the bounty of terrorism. They do not have the moral right to tell you why they loot Africa, except they are criminals, and they will justify their criminality. It is as simple as that. When I look at them talk about ISIS, talk about Boko Haram, talk about Fulani herdsmen, Miati, Allah, and the rest of it, I see no difference between them. You invaded Africa, you rubbish Africa, you're still robbing Africa, you rape Africa, you murder Africa, and then you tell us about justice. You talk to us about morality. You tell us about the rule of law. You tell us about constitution that must be adhered to. You are evil. Having divided Africa as a bounty of terrorism, what did they do? Every of these countries from Europe or wherever God knows for the forsaken where they come from, had terrorists that represent them. The same way you have Shekau. The same way you have Buhari, he's a terrorist, and the rest of them. But the terrorists in charge to start this animal farm known as Nigeria, his name is Terrorist Lugard. Terrorist Lugard constitution, if there was anything ever like that, was that of a business regarding the constitution. Frederick Lugard didn't have constitution. He was there for business and business alone. As a criminal-minded individual that he is, the only future that can be seen in his constitution, if he has ever forwarded any constitution, was simple. Domination, as you can see replicated in Nigeria by Fulani. Frederick Lugard came to Nigeria. He brought the Southern and the Eastern Protectorate, or whatever garbage name they call Nigeria. He amalgamated them and dominated them by the barrier of the gun. That was his constitution. That was the only thing Frederick Lugard did. He gave name with a prostitute, drunk. You are in Niger area, and then the chimpanzee alive then begin to say, hey, we are Nigeria. They release national anthem all of a sudden. Nigeria, we hate thee. Nigeria, we hate thee. I hope you are still holding Nigeria. But of course, he had the backing of the world to kill us with gun. But that same constitution may not be on any written document, but you see them manifesting in the life of the Fulani here in Nigeria today. These people are tout. Fulanis are tout. But somebody is going to say, no, this is an insult, but this is the truth. Bruta is a Fulani, is a tout. Come on to read a handout written for him. He couldn't read it. And what was he doing? He was busy saying, transmission. I mean, is it Brutai? Or what is the name of that useless police commissioner? But all of them have their own flaw. Transmission, transmitter, most of you have forgotten. There is another Fulani in charge of education. They gave him paper. He was reading the assassination of elimination of one Nigeria. Assassination. In the modern day, your one Nigeria, she can't even read ordinary paper given to her. I know she must have been reciting it for almost 2 years. Unbelievable. But like I said, these people are tart, these people are hopeless, these people are useless. But of course, they have AK-47. And so, like terrorists, Lugard, the constitution have been implemented already. As I'm talking now, all they are saying is, if we get that man, we will shoot that man, we will kill that man, but thunder will fire all of you. Because that thing you are looking for, you will get it. But these were the constitution that pioneered a nation called Nigeria. Let's not make any mistake about that. Let's not miss our words. You know, in those days in the school, they used to teach us Mafosin Constitution, Clifford Constitution, Ondioshin Andiama Constitution. I was like, what the heck is all this constitution? But we thank God for Radio Biafra. We thank God for our leader, Mazen Nandekano. And now, Lugard never had a constitution. All he did is shoot you, kill you. You must obey. The same way you look at Fulanis. Why they have the time? They are killing, they are looting, and nobody can ask them. But they claim they have constitution. Nigeria have constitution written by the man called We the People of Nigeria. And then some years later, the constitution was amended. And so from Lugard Constitution, we moved ahead to Clifford Constitution. When Frederick Lugard died miserably, his body was taken back to God knows where. And then another terrorist came. And they refer him. In fact, it is called Clifford Constitution. He took over from Frederick Lugard with his own manual on how Nigerians should be run in terms of development of every stage. The future of his own manual called Constitution has some of the following features. When you talk about the Clifford Constitution, it had three main agenda or future. Number one, the Constitution gave directives on how to manipulate election. Go back and look at Clifford Constitution. It actually make provision on how election must be manipulated. And of course, when we say election is not just rigging PDP or APC into power. For a bill to be passed into motion, it's also a process of election. Clifford Constitution knew that Frederick Lugard was so stupid and hopeless and brainless animal, he just created a bylaw which enabled Britain to justify the atrocity being perpetuated in Nigeria today. Clifford came and advanced this document called Constitution, this manuscript that enabled them to bamboozle Africa. And so those of you from within West African region, let's say Nigerians, it was Clifford who took over from Frederick. Then he made his own constitution. The first feature of that constitution is that he enables them. There are so many features there, but I just want to take a little. Number one, the Clifford Constitution enables them to rig election. And now most of you will know why the British government was able to successfully rig Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe out of office. The first census census figure ever conducted in Nigeria was rigged in favor of the North by the British government. Because in the constitution of Clifford, the provision to dissect, to cover this atrocity had been made available already. The second feature in Clifford Constitution is that it gave right, it reserved the power of attorney to only the European, as you can see replicate in Nigeria. Under the Clifford Constitution, the member of the panel of the zoo called Nigerian can only be a European. No black man, nobody was allowed to be member of the parliament in the zoo called Nigeria, except you are European. Today, look at the same constitution being played out. And somebody will say, let's go to court. Which court are you going to? Because the same manuscript is what is carrying us today. Today, head of Boko Haram, Fulani. Head of presidency, Fulani. Head of criminal, Fulani. Head of everything, Fulani. Head of lawyer, Fulani. Head of doctor, Fulani. Even though they don't have a single Fulani doctor. But every hem of affair in Nigeria, the constitution of Nigeria enables them to be in charge. These are some of the things that Clifford Constitution injected into your one Nigeria. And so when we tell you that Nigeria is a manuscript written in Britain, you should understand where we are coming from. And the third feature from the Clifford Constitution is this article enables them to clearly support the need for cannibalism, as you can see in Nigeria today. One of the articles represented in Clifford Constitution is that it supports cannibalism. They can kill you at any time, nothing will happen. Look at Nigerian state. Policeman will stop you on the way and say, give me 20 naira. You say, I don't have, they will shoot you. Clifford Constitution endorses it. That is, if you say you don't want to be a Nigerian, they will shoot you. Only God knows how many people they assassinated. Today, when you tell them, no, you can't do this, this is wrong, they will say it's hate speech, and they are gallivanting everywhere. Of course, the constitution of the colonial terrorists ask you, empowered you to be in charge of, you have the power of attorney. You have the power to kill and cover, nobody know. You have the power to manipulate the constitution and rig everything riggable. But it didn't start today. But we are saying all these things for those of you who think Nigeria will ever change. Go and look at the manuscript. The author have perfected what he wants. But it's unfortunately for them because they are not the author of Biafra. They are the creator of Nigeria, not the creator of Biafra. We must continue. The number 4 thing we need to learn or features from the Clifford Constitution is that the Constitution was adaptive and could be easily manipulated. I must tell you that Clifford worked very hard. About the Constitution of Clifford have about 11 features, which I don't want us to look at in depth. But they actually gave room to the manipulation you see coming from Nigerian state today. The Clifford Constitution creates room for adapting. And when it is adaptive, that means it is manipulated. And when it is manipulated, it can be manipulated. They will tell you it's a flexible constitution. So when one lunatic wake up one day, they will say they will poison all of you. The constitution is amended immediately to enable them assassinate you. You see Nigerians behaving the way they are behaving. It is because one of the features of the Clifford Constitution, the pioneers of your one Nigeria actually embedded this evil inside your constitution. So whenever you are coming and saying, we the people of Nigeria, according to the constitution of Nigeria, you think we are ignorant about Maffosin constitution? You think we are ignorant about Clifford Constitution? British government, you think we do not know that even though Frederick Lugar don't have a written constitution, but it has a protocol, a memorandum of operation, you think we are ignorant. But of course, Nigeria must understand. It can never change, it remains that way. That is the point we want you to say, that the moment you are saying Nigeria will be good, Nigeria will be good. Nigeria can only be good on one condition. And that is you must divide Nigeria. As far as it is this zoo, this company called Nigeria, it is a manuscript, a euphoria. It never existed. It will never exist for the good of any Nigerian. Some may have upper hand temporarily, but they will be sent beneath the ground from where they come. This is the truth. And then, of course, every one of them, their time will come and their time will wind up. And when Clifford's time was expired, another terrorist came in power. They saw the weakness of the Clifford Constitution, and so they saw also the need why the Constitution must be amended. And then Maforson took over. And then you have something known as Maforson Constitution. This were president of Nigeria. I don't know what they call their useless name. This constitution should be considered as a manipulative constitution because it gave the room for the law to be manipulated before your very eyes to suit their own purpose. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Herbert McCollin, as a enlightened Nigerian citizen, pointed out to them the danger of this manipulative constitution. But in order to balance the constitution and blindfold the people who call themselves Nigeria from knowing the truth, people like Professor Ben Nwabweze came into the limelight as one of the most renowned constitutional lawyers ever known in the world because he was able to make it stable. And then the people in the like of Nnamdi Azikiwe and Herbert Macaulay discovered the manipulation within the constitution introduced by Frederick Lugard, Clifford, and Maforson. It was very glaring as Nigerian hopeless state is glaring. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Herbert Macaulay confronted Maforson and said, this constitution is gullible. This constitution is evil. This constitution is not supposed to be. How can constitution empower you to live at the same time empower you to die? The British went back and started studying how to balance the constitution that stabilized the total destruction of Africa, I must tell you. And then the like of Professor Ben Nwabweze came into the limelight. We will talk about Professor Ben Nwabweze. Nigerians have regard for him. Britain and the rest of them have regard for him because he was able to make a constitution that enables them to balance this fraudulent activity. How I wish Professor Ben Nwabweze, a constitutional lawyer, will tell us how he was able to manipulate both Clifford Constitution, Maforson Constitution, Lugard Constitution to stabilize the terrorist state called Nigeria today. They respected him for him because the constitution of Maforson, Clifford, and Lugard were tearing Nigeria apart. And now, in case you never know, they were surprised. Professor Ben Nwabweze was able to create that platform. There were many people like him, but of course, just to set a boundary so you know where we are coming from and where we are going to. That is how he came into a limelight, because he was able to diffuse and infuse certain principle or protocol that makes you not to feel the burden of this terrorist constitution. But do not forget that those on the executive have their own manuscript that they must follow. Considering the constitution of Nigeria today, it is characterized by the following nonchalant attitudes. Number one, it empowers rigging of all kinds. This fraudulent constitution, in different stages, it empowers rigging. When you hear Nigerians saying the election is going to be free and fair, the election is going to be free, and you will be surprised, even in the hospital, INEC have office there. In the church, INEC have office. Police station, INEC have office. Even in Sambisa Forest, INEC have office. And they are questionable and answerable to nobody. You will know why Goodluck Ebere Jonathan was rigged out of office from all the way from America. Because the Clifford Constitution, the Maferson Constitution, the Lugard Constitution, all of them created a base for rigging. We talk about referendum, but do you think the referendum will come without rigging? Of course, they will come. That is when we will checkmate their rigging. But of course, referendum is all we ask for, whether they like it or not. And so when you say, oh, the Constitution didn't say so, ask yourself, who wrote the Constitution? Oh, Abdul Salam Abubakar. Where did he school? They will never tell you about people like Professor Ben Wambuzi. You have the like of this intellectual, Habat Macaulay, Ikoku, Amechi of Mpo, among others. But one gate man, one tout, Abdul Salam Abubakar. You want us to believe he wrote the law. When the Chief Justice and Attorney General of Nigeria is driving a aeroplane, you want us to believe that. We understand the origin of Nigerian Constitution. We understand the role of the manuscript. The authors must play according to the script, or else they are removed, disqualified, or changed. The only way is that you have to make your own platform. And that is why we are here. This very fraudulent constitution is chameleon in nature, or all-weather constitution. I want you to look at the constitution of Nigeria and be sincere to yourself. Is it stable? When trailer fall, they put trailer falling constitution. When rain fall, they will see amalgamation falling. In fact, look at all the budget. They are either padded or one thing or the other. One grammar must come. And that is why if you look at the National Assembly of Nigeria, the only thing you hear them do is, if you are in support, say nay, they say nay. If you are not in support, say kai, they say kai. Because sometimes Fulani think they are yelling cow, even in the National Assembly. Those in support say nay, they now holla nay. Those against say kai, they now say kai. Some outside Fulani will even say menene kai in the ara. But must Nigerian fate be decided at every given in time by saying nay and kai? That is because according to the manuscript, they must say nay and they must say kai. And once they finish making this sound, then one zombie will take hammer, wooden hammer, mallet, and hit the table. Dogodo. Kai have the shoe. And then they start all over again, bamboozling us. There is nothing you can do about it, because somebody will always refer you to Maferson Constitution or Clifford Constitution or Lugard Constitution, which were actually manuscript. Manual that you must abide by, or else the product is destroyed. And we say it is our right to soar on the wings of civil disobedience, because that manuscript will tear it. That is why we are here. This fraudulent constitution, I must tell you, promote cabals in power. The constitution is what promote cabal in power. If you ever think godfatherism will end in Nigeria, you lie. Because from the day of Clifford, from the days of Lugard, from the day of Maferson, from the day they created Nigeria, amalgamated in 1914, from the day they made decision in Berlin Conference, there is provision for cabalism. You will never succeed in doing anything in cabalism. You must play cabal. Cabal must be there. You can imagine Buhari is dead, but cabals are there. These are the Onowu. Onowu is known as cabal in Britain. The constitution permits it. That is why if you like, talk about the cabal led by Abakeyare. You are wasting your time. Because according to the manuscript that cover Nigeria, there is provision for cabalism. Even if Abakeyare die, next group of cabal must come. That is why for your governor to be your governor, he must go and pay homage to one Miatiala. For your chairman or your councillor to be representing you, they must go and pay homage to the cabal. That is why these people feel they are so powerful. They are invincible and they are untouchable. And so they talk to us with temerity. We will deal with you, we will kill you, we will proscribe you, we will do this one, because the manuscript asks them to do that. But of course, we are free men. We are not controlled by manuscript. We want to be the author of our life. We want to decide how we sleep, how we wake up, where to go to, how to live our life, as far as this right does not encroach on the right of another. But the Nigerian fraudulent constitution do not have regard for any of this. So as far as it is called Nigeria, nothing will ever work. Everything remains the way it is, because that is how the manual said it should be from the manuscript. That is the instruction given from the manuscript, and it must remain that way. He said that you get used to it, or you rise up and stop one Nigeria. That is exactly why we are here as Biafra. Don't let anybody deceive you. They tell you, yes, Nigeria is workable, where we adjust the constitution. Of course, that would have been the solution if they know where it's coming from. Constitutional amendment of Nigeria, I should say, is able to change the situation. But the moment you tamper with the remote, it will destroy the product. It will render the product useless or inefficient. And so if they actually allow you to tamper with the constitution, Nigeria will no longer be Nigeria, because British government cannot steal oil from backyard door. They will not be robbing us in broad daylight and then moving out with it like angel. Just come on exposing their evil. They are now in a hurry. Let us amend the constitution. They are not amending the constitution to make Nigerian grow forward. They are amending the constitution to cover their stupid, dirty tracks of looting. And I listened to them, and they said something. The constitution, even though it has to hang those who talk hate speech, the lawyer should be left to decide whether they will hang the person or not. But the same constitution allows you to murder Ken Saro-Wiwa, even though we all know, Britain know, that the very case that made them to kill Ken Saro-Wiwa, he was innocent of it. Of course, the same fraudulent constitution enables them to murder 10 million of Biafra, and nobody will talk about it today, because the constitution permits them to do so. They will never tell you that Yakubu Gowon, Obasanjo, Babangida, T.Y. Danjuma, all these terrorists and act genocidia are not supposed to be walking free. They are supposed to be in one prison somewhere in Afghanistan. But the constitution of Nigeria actually empowered them to do what they did. That is why when Obasanjo was invited to Oputa panel, he arrogantly told Oputa that they should understand the implication of obeying the last order as a soldier. That what he did in Asaba was as simply as obeying the last order. Invariably, Obasanjo Otababum was telling you that according to the manuscript, they press the play button, the killing button, and he has to kill, because that is who he is, and that is what he's meant to do. And so when you see the constitution of Nigeria, there is none. When you say we the people of Nigeria, nobody's called we the people of Nigeria. And when you hear them talk about development of Nigeria, there is no provision for that in the manuscript. When you talk about a better Nigeria, it could only exist on the radio, on the pages of newspaper. It can only come in form of promises. And that is why we begin to hear Vision 2020. Few days from now, we will be in 2020. No vision. Nigeria is more backward than ever. And then they have started telling you another lie. Vision 50-50, Vision 60-60. And we shall be there, but not in Nigeria. But the truth is that Nigerian must be destroyed, obliterated from the face of this planet Earth. And that is why we are here. Those who have ear, let them hear. Those who don't have ear, we shall see to it.
Sing it out.
With the truth.
We're coming out right now for the enterprise is up.
With the truth.
It's too late to call down. What is too late? You see, but it's too late to call down. said it's too late to paradise. It's too late. Rocha said it's too late to paradise. It's too late.
Worldwide people, they don't they kill us since. Nobody talk about them. After the whole killing, them go sweep them under the carpets. This people are shameless, they don't get conscience. Maybe in our blood, now you they take a bath. Without our resources, nothing like one Nigeria. These people are shameless, they don't get conscience. They don't set confusion among our brothers. They won't kill our leader because he speak the truth. These people are shameless, they don't get conscience. No hiding place for them. See their doom for their doorstep. We are blessed folks. Who to go to Kabiama, bless no man feel cause. Worldwide thing.
Nigeria is falling, we are gonna sink it out.
With the truth, with the truth.
We're coming out right now, running down the prices up.
With the truth, with the truth.
It's too late to paradise. Who are you still late? Osiba is too late to paradise. It's too late. Obasanjo is too late to paradise. It's too late. Amechi is too late to paradise. Bazu is too late.
This is special dedication to my friends and my brothers and my sisters and my uncle and my cousins who are here in Biafra land, outside Biafra land, in the world at large. We are Biafrans. If we are one Nigeria, why are they killing us? If we are one Nigeria, why are they raping us? If we are one Nigeria, why are they depriving us? We want to go, women, we want to go truly, we want to go sincerely, we want to go right now, we want to go, myself, I want to go, Nandi Kano want to go, Uche Moko want to go, Onyibe want to go, we want to go, Biafrans, they want to go, we are 7 steps ahead the zoo, we are whiter than white, we are whiter than snow, all we need is referendum, disciplating, trafficking, I was born and raised in the Biafra land. This is my religion. Biafra is my religion. You can think Biafra, speak Biafra, see Biafra. God will assign this. Nobody can join it. Plus day, minus day. Biafra will come. We love you. We love you. We love you. Biafra. Woo! I told you.
Nigeria is falling, we are gonna sink it out.
With the truth, with the truth.
We're coming out right now, running down the prices up.
With the truth, with the truth.
It's too late to paradise. It's too late. Who are you? It's too late to paradise. Amechi is too late. Osiba is too late to paradise.
Of course, it is too late for Nigeria. We have to go home, nothing more, nothing less. And those of you who are still saying Constitution of Nigeria, please go back, look for a copy of Clifford Constitution, Mafose Constitution. Check all of them with your fraudulent Nigerian Constitution. The only thing they change there is the English. The only thing they change there is the English. And then they adjust some alphabet to enable them deceive you by the book. But of course, we want nothing to do with Nigeria. We want to go home. You are Biafran today. You think there is a way they do it by the law. There is nothing like law, but he did. Of course, at this moment, our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642. Our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971. And the special number for the female is 081-288-58614. 081-288-58614 is the special number for the female. Caller on the line. Good evening from here. Go ahead, please, your name and where you come from.
Yeah, my name is Marabu Shepika. I'm calling from Kudeta State, Biafra land.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, topic this night is very, very marvelous because we know that Nigeria doesn't have a constitution. the constitution they made is to kill Biafrans. But my prayer to them is that Nigeria will never have peace until they allow Biafrans to go. I'm using this opportunity also to call my people, Iseluku, Anyocha North, or Anyocha North, Dumujuno, Mujuboko, Seladaba, Easy Olona, all 18,000 Anyocha North, they should come up. It is time for us to liberate Biafra. Because some people fold their hands on their knees, watching where the food will wipe for them to take it. But it's not so. Some people are still sleeping, but we always call them to wake up. Let everybody wake up. I also thank my brothers and sisters in IPOB, in Anyocha North, which I may not mention, but I also thank Chubu, coordinator, Seluku coordinator, Alona coordinator, Ezi coordinator. I also thank my honorable patron, Mr. James Mokwe. He's so hardworking to liberate Biafra because we, IPOB in Seluku, are so formidable. We will surely continue to fight until the day we liberate Biafra. All hail Biafra. So what I'm just saying is that everybody should wake up.
Thank you very much.
In Seluku, in outside, anywhere they are, they should wake up because it is time.
Thank you.
I told you yesterday that what's happening in Tisera secondary school last month or whatever. The Fulani went there to kidnap the trespass and the school children there. But unfortunately to them, our government took up and defeated them. So I thank all our members in Delta State, mostly on our channel. Thank you, my brother. And God bless you. And bless my director and the canon team of woman. Whatever you are doing to liberate the Biafra, I judge Onyibe. Your family must surely live and see Biafra, and you must surely live and see Biafra. Any evil that fashion against you can never prosper.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on the line, your name and where you calling from. Of course, we lost that caller. We must continue. Are you there? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
Yeah, Onyibe. Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
My name is Man Sunday Zichuku. I'm calling from Aba. I'm a member of Osioma family. Sir, Onyibe, I've been trying your number for past almost 6 months now. I will not be getting you. It's already some WhatsApp number that is easy to get. Your direct number, I've been calling it. It's always busy. So, Onyibe, I've been trying. I have a neighbor here. I've been trying to enlighten me in some things, the way of life, what is happening. So, but I thank God. Yesterday is the one that is telling me about what is happening in Ariara, and she's telling me that Nigeria cannot work again. So I appreciate the work people are doing. I say, Muchko Kabiyama, continue to guide and protect you.
Thank you very much. We must continue. People must understand. The world has moved on since the colonial era. The world has moved on since the slave trade era. But these people must understand that the same manual that they used to be controlling, manipulating Biafrans since over 100 years will still be effective up to now. They are still behind. Are you there, caller on the line? Caller on the line, are you there? This is female line and no male should call it, please. Caller on the WhatsApp, are you there?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. Good evening. My name is Ebu Kandolo. I'm calling you from Onitsha. Sir, I'm very appreciate what you are doing for us. I'm praying that God will help you people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and God be with you. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening from here.
Good evening, sir. My name is Francisca.
Go ahead, please.
I'm calling from Auchi, Edo State.
Go ahead, my sister.
Mazolizi, I want to thank you so much for what you have been teaching us so far. What I've been hearing from you, I am learning a lot from you. What I don't know before, I am learning it now. I want to thank you very, very much for what you're doing for our country, Biafra. And I pray that God will bring Biafra and it will be a thing that will come. And a lot of people will benefit from it. People that said Biafra will not come. Show them that Biafra must come and Biafra must come to stay.
See.
Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you for your teaching. And you continue to teach us and you will continue to enlighten us. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you. We must continue. Because Nigerians or those who call themselves Nigerians don't know the deep shit they are into. They are busy chasing shadows when the real deal has been done. When you see all those touts, you think Britain is stupid to be allowing touts. Colonial masters are stupid. Only touts run Africa. Because even most of the people who claim to be your leaders in Nigeria don't know what the Nigerian constitution contains. The only thing their mindset is targeted on is kill and divide. Share the money, share the bounty, share the loot. That is the only thing they represent. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Caller on the line, are you there? Caller on WhatsApp, your name and where are you calling from?
Onyibe. Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
My name is Mazi Christopher. I'm calling from Enugu province. Mazi George Onyibe, I must thank you so much. Especially, this is my first time of calling Radio Biafra. I have been sending message, and all of a sudden, you connected me to IPOB family here in Enugu province. I must also use this opportunity to thank my coordinator here, Mazi Egwato and Chimezi. Well, George Onyibe, though, for the past 2 or 3 months, our radio has not been on, but I thank God in everything that we are here live to listen to Radio Biafra. All that you have been telling us, all that you have been educating us, is exactly what you are seeing here in the zoo called Nigeria. And I pray that in less than no time, Biafra will come in our own time. May Chukwu bless you, bless your family, bless all IPOB families worldwide. In the name of Chukwu, you pray. Thank you so much, sir. May God bless you and strengthen you.
People do not know the complicated situation they have found themselves, the mess they have found themselves in the name of Nigeria. And that is why when we sit back, we see some people. He said, what did the United Nations say? What did the Arab Nation say? What did the Boko Haram Nation say? But all these organizations, they are aware of Clifford Constitution. They are aware of Mafonsen Constitution. They are aware of Terrorist Lugar Constitution. And the constantly projection of this decree or edict to undermine our sovereignty as a people. Are you there, caller on the line? Good evening, my brother. This is female line, and I cannot allow you to talk through this line. Please call the direct line. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
Yes, Onyibe, this is Mazi. Yes, I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me.
Loud and clear. Good evening,
Onyibe, this is Mazi Mbadike from New York.
Good evening, sir, from here. Go ahead, please.
Okay. As you be, Mazi, I greet you from the city of New York. And as I've been listening throughout the broadcast, and everything you, our director, our deputy has been saying all along, my happiness that is manifesting to the eyes of Biafrans. You know, we in IPOB, we already know. That's why we don't ask, so much question. And what I'm begging our people is for us to let our fellow Biafrans to be able to be listening to all these broadcasts that have been going on, because most of the places, they don't listen to Radio Biafra. So we said sending a text and a WhatsApp message to you about the program we're running to. We're starting it from Munnewi and Onitsha province to raise money towards these relay stations that will go all over Biafran land. But we're trying to start this, test run from Munnewi province and Onitsha province, so that will help us to get into Delta State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State, Bayelsa, and Enugu State. So we set up a number for everybody that is a Biafran living in diaspora. This is our task to fulfill. We need to ask ourselves that listen to Radio Biafra via Radio Biafra app, Simple Mobile, TuneIn, Facebook, and other platform being designated by IPOB. Can you, search into your soul that what you're doing, is it right? That you will have access to all those things, and our people back home being calling on Radio Biafra for us to make them to have the same access that we have to all these platforms. That's why we set up this program to raise money to put these relay stations. If you are within the Nnewi province, Onitsha province, that we go from there and enter other cities. This is where we're targeting most of the revenue we get. If you are from Ekulum, Milionubi, Osume, Yamichi, Adazi, Agolo, Yabatete, Ojoto, Ichi, Nobi, Okija, Ihala. And you from all these locations, and you'll be able to listen to Radio Biafra via this platform. Just touch your heart and ask yourself, am I doing it right? It doesn't matter if you're in IPOB or not. We need to do the right thing so that our people won't be dying for lack of information that we have in IPOB. So we need people to make a generous contribution towards the zone of IPOB where you reside. Just put in your name, the zone, and the country where you are, and address it for relay station for Nnewi Onitsha province. And you can pay the money, get the receipt to your zone. Don't send the money to Mbadike. And you send the information of your payment towards this WhatsApp number. It's +1 929 326 273. And you, as soon as you make this payment, we're going to add you to the WhatsApp group, and you see what is going on there. The money doesn't go to me. IPOB is the one that will put in this transmitter. And if you're not in IPOB, you can play a part on this platform as well. Just send a text on that WhatsApp number. I will get back to you and tell you how you make a payment through any country where you are. Mazi Onyibe, I thank you for this time. I was trying to come, but sometimes I get off from work late. I can't make it to the line. But I thank you for this opportunity, and I'll tell our people that we are going home. We need to put our heads up and follow the instruction given on the platform of Radio Biafra. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank
good
you
night.
very much, sir. Thank you very much. Biafrans across the globe, you have heard about it. Tonight, as I can assure you, almost 75% of Biafra land is quiet. Fulani herdsmen are ravaging because we don't have transmitters in our villages. Boko Haram have our Wosa radio station. Yoruba have their own radio Kudirat. If we do not stand up to defend our land, nobody will. We must understand one thing: no matter how weak our fathers may have been, if at all they are, they did not give an inch of Biafra land to any tout to take over. Neither are we going to do that, nor will our children succumb to that nonsense. But you must understand the pattern they use. They wake up any day and decide to do anything the same way the terrorist does. They make the law, they make the rule, they bend it to favor them, and so nobody questions them. But somewhere along the line, there are things they didn't consider. And that is what is affecting them today. And that is when they simply say, Pekin will say, Mama no go sleep. Himself no go sleep. Call her on WhatsApp, are you there? Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from? Go ahead, please.
Yes. So you.
I think you may have to cut this call and call back because the line is very bad. Can you hear me, caller, on the line?
Good evening, Mazi George Onyibe.
Good evening from here, my brother. Go ahead, please.
Mazi, I love this program so much, my brother. I am Mazi Onyibe, and I'm calling from Onitsha province, precisely Okpoko. A coordinator of Unit 7 Okpoko. I'm very, very happy, my brother. I thank God for the life of our Mazi Uche Oka from the fourth, life of Mazi Nnamdi Oku Kano, or Supreme Leader, formidable leader indeed. I love him so. It's only God, it's only Chukwu that will reward both of you. It is only Chukwu that will pay back. I learned something this night about each one.
Can you please turn down the volume of your radio set, or you leave there because it's really echoing? Go ahead, better.
Sorry. I learned something from what you said about Ben Nwabeze this night. I never know, but I learned something. But whatsoever they are doing, they knew what they are doing, and they are doing it because of what they call, because they are the one that gave it the name. They call it national cake.
What I mean about Professor Ben Nwabeze is that that Clifford Constitution, Mafosen Constitution, Lugard Constitution, we're destroying the people already. The people who imposed this law couldn't manage it. It was Ben Nwabeze. He's the first constitutional lawyer who actually infused some principles that enable us to bear this burden without feeling the pain as much. That is why he's respected. He was the one that had shock observer to this decree that was meant to pieces all of us. That is what he actually did. He didn't contribute to that menace.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So my brother, I thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Oku Kano. This man has done a lot of things to us Biafrans. If only we will understand. If only we shall understand. If only we all will get up and stood on our ground and said no to all this nonsense. Oh God, listen. Go to the whole wide world and listen. There are protests going on this in this country, protests going on in that country, protests going on in this country. They are protesting and nobody's killing them. But right here in Nigeria, not here because I'm in Biafra land. Right there in Nigeria, when you stood up to say no to what they are doing to you, they will give you a live bullet and they will kill you. Shoot aside. That is the instruction. And that is because of the constitution.
Of terrorist Lugard.
Thank you very much, my brother.
And all of them. The same law that enabled them to shoot Enugu miners. The same law that made them to shoot about women. The Biafra women that rioted. The same law empowered them to shoot IPOB. The same law empowered them to shoot Shiat. But this law don't let them to kill Fulani headsmen, Boko Haram. Because they encourage
will punish all of them one after the other. Chukwu Kika Biama will never allow any of them to rest in peace. I hate it when I go to burial and they'll be saying, may his soul rest in peace. Somebody you knew that has done a lot of evil while alive. Somebody you knew that killed a lot of people while alive. When he dies, people will be saying, may his gentle soul that has no problem rest in perfect peace. Which peace? Who will give him the peace? They have dealt with us. And whatever they have done to us, Chukwukikeme will give it double to them and their family. Them and their family will suffer it because they are enjoying it with their family. And because they are enjoying it with their family, they will suffer it with their family in the mighty name of Chukwukikeme.
Thank you very much, my brother. We must continue. Caller, WhatsApp, are you still there?
I'm still here. Onyibe.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please, my brother.
I'm Ejikem, calling from Malaysia. All the whole eminent Biafrans, I greet all. May God bless us, bless our leader and our deputy. Bless you, Onyibe, and your family. God strengthen you more grace. What I said in the yesterday morning about Abdulsalami Abubakar. I'm sorry that I didn't inform you because of work, but let me just add it up here. I will not take time, just like 5 minutes or 3 minutes.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, what I say about Abdulsalami Abubakar. Abacha made him chief of staff, chief of army staff during Abacha time. Among the generals, he was the lowest then, among all of them. So he stayed in where they call Fort IBB Barrack, before Gowan Barrack. That was where he stayed. Then Jeremiah Husseini were the FCT minister. Then Bameyi were in charge of NDL. Was in charge of drugs and on and forth. This very man, when Abacha died, they hold a meeting, Army Provisional Ruling Council, for 3 days without the second man after Dia has problem. The next person there is Jeremiah Husseini. Because of that name he answered, made them not to invite him to that meeting. He was not aware. He was not aware. After the meeting, after the 3rd day, they now invite him for the meeting. When they invite him for the meeting, they announce Abdulsalami Abubakar as full general head of state. Means that all the whole Army Provisional Council will stand up and salute him, and he will take the salute back. And being a junior officer, his own boy, he cannot salute his own boy. And he said no. They parade him to cell, to toilet. They come out his cap and everything. He stayed there and write restoration letter. They reject that restoration letter. They now bring him out and put him in a cell. Abacha is the person that, let me make it for Yoruba people to understand, is the only person that made to tell the military that position is better than rank. That made Mustafa, we see Dia with saluting Dia, second in command. And Oladipo Dia cannot do anything. Just like what is happening today in Aso Rock. When the vice president cannot even make any speech or talk anything where the cabals are there. The whole ministers report to Abakayari. So it did not start today. It has started. It has started. And the constitution they are using today, 1979, they modified it. They modified it and called it 1999 Constitution amended. Abdul Salam did not write anything. It's a very shame to people that agree one Nigeria. A single man will pass a degree for more than 2 million, for more than how many million Nigerians are following it. It's a death trap. We Biafrans, we say no to it. We are not part of it. We are not part of it. Even in the Bible, when they say people that are against Moses, people that agree with Moses should look up, people that don't agree with Moses should look down. Snakes start biting some. Land open and swallow some people. That is what is happening. If you are a Biafran, you did not come to identify with IPOB. When the land will open, it will swallow you. We are not among them, and we will never be among them. Let them continue doing what they are doing. The vice president will continue saluting the Abakiari that Nigeria did not elect. A man that they elect don't have power to do anything. In military, Abacha made us to know that position is better than rank. Even though you are a sergeant, that you can cross a general because of your position. That is where they brought us to today. Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Mazi. We must continue, and they shall hear the truth, and the truth will set them free. Can you hear me, caller, on the line?
Hey, Master Onyibe. Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here.
This is Freeway Sazoka from Onyibe Unit, Aba. Because always something to your.
Of course, we lost that caller, Zoo Epileptic Network. Can you hear me, caller, on WhatsApp?
Yeah, Master, I can hear you. Good evening, Master.
Good evening, Pastor Samuel. Go ahead, please.
God bless you, sir.
We thank God is faithful. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Master, my name is Pastor Samuel Obiakiz. I am from Orediri, Umundamaka. Umundamaka is Orediri from Olu local government and Olu local government in Olu province. By the special grace of Chukwukike Abiyama, I am the coordinator of Umozo Zone 1 and also the national coordinator of all the Olu IPOB all over Biafra land. By the special grace of God, I'm under Mazinam Dekano. Mazi, I want to give a little announcement this night for the people of Iguacha area. Those that are living at Iguacha, if you know that you are from Olu province, Idato, Akokwa, Osina, Mbudi, Awo, Otulu, all these province, you are under Olu province, please. On 1st December, 1st Sunday of December, there will be a general meeting of all the Olu people that living at Iguacha. Please contact the state coordinator or the zonal coordinator or the unit coordinator anywhere you are or any zone you are. If you contact your coordinator, then your coordinator will give you the contact address or the contact number, the number that you will call for the venue of that meeting. Please, it is very necessary that all the members of Olu that is living in Uganda, please take note. First Sunday of December, please, we need you at that meeting. It's so important. Please, the same thing, those that are in Anambra State, contact your zonal coordinator, contact your local government coordinator, even the unit coordinator or your zonal coordinator. Then they will give you the venue of the meeting at Anambra State. At Anambra State, please. Hence, you are from Olu province. Please, you need to attend that meeting. It is very important. Then the people that are living at Abia State, please, you need to move to your zonal coordinator or your local government coordinator or senatorial coordinator. Every Friday, we do have our meeting. All the Olu that is Abia State, please contact your zonal coordinator. He will give you the contact number that you will call for the venue of that meeting. It is very important because in our village at Olu, most of our coordinators, or local coordinators there, they are complaining for some time now. They are not listening to radio. And we need to do something. We need to do something in our home so that our people, they carry along. They are not listening to this program. So many of our brothers, they have done a lot. And we we need to do more so
Thank you
that
very much.
us what we are doing. So, Master, this is the only thing I have to do. The announcement I have to do tonight. I thank you, and I know that in fact you are a lot to me once again. I want to say it because I have learned a lot since I started listening to you and our director, Master, because even our deputy director, you have done a lot to us. I thank you, and I thank my people for the better thing that you're doing for all low people and all the whole Biafra land. May the people
God is faithful.
You, all of us in a little time we shall march on into the Biafran land.
Thank you.
And remain God.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We must continue. Are you there, caller on the line?
Hello.
Good evening from here. Go ahead. Good evening, Ada.
My name is Wanda Kizobe. I heard from many in Rimba local government area of Anambra State. But right now I'm calling you from Monitor David. I sent you a message this evening 2 times, but I want to join an IPOB family.
Please write your name.
My problem is that I don't.
Write your name, your phone number, and location.
Okay, write my name.
Write your name, your phone number, and your location. The coordinator in that region will contact you immediately.
Okay, my name, my phone number, and my what?
Location. If you are in Anambra, put Anambra.
I have wrote it. I sent it this evening.
Okay, I will respond to it tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
May God Almighty reward you for all the deeds you are doing for Biafra. God in His mercy will reward you. And our leader, Mazin and the family. All hail Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra. Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Yeah, good evening, Mazi George Onyibe.
Good evening from here.
My name is Okwaraji Chukwebuka. I'm calling from Aba province. I'm an POB member from Amuzu zone. Mazi Onyibe, I wish to thank you for what you have done for us. You are really trying very much. The program in the morning, I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't connect with you in the morning, so I had to call this evening. Mazi Onyibe, there was a message I sent to you yesterday evening about my sister who is in New York, in Bronx area, that she wants to join IPOB. But the last time I heard on radio that someone announced about Queens area in New York. So I sent her the message. She said it's very far from her location. So I sent you her details on WhatsApp, on this WhatsApp number yesterday. So I don't know if you've gotten it. And another one, there is my uncle that is in Uyugua, in Idaton, Tolu province. So he also wants to join. And I will send him his details maybe after now. So because I had the last 2 caller, the coordinator from Olo was talking about a meeting. I'll try and locate with my unit coordinator to know about, because I'm from the zone, I'm from the province, I'm from Uyugua, in Idaton. So I wish to say, yes, I wish to say, may God bless you. May Chukwu Kama bless you. May Chukwu Kama bless all IPOB principal officers. May Chukwu Kama bless Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Kama bless Mazu Chitemeko. Because without Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, I don't know where we'll be. These Fulani marauders would have overtaken our land. But to thank God that God sent him. I cannot what cannot express what I want to say, because the way I'm feeling, if not Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, we'll be nowhere now. So I want to say, may God bless you all and bless all IPOB family members. Thank you. Shalom Biafra.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening from here.
And I'm again. This morning, then came and I is looking at one shaking. Or the easy. Program email after this one.
before we got this one now. Ụmụnne gara ha Ebonyi steeti eziokwu na-agbalịsi ike onye nwe mgbe agụ ume Chukwu okike abịa ma kpuchite gị ụtụtụ na ihe n'abalị onye nwanyị ga-agọzi Federal Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu na Uche Mefo na gị onwe gị bụ George Onyibe na nne ya anya eziokwu ana m atinye information na-agwa ụmụnne anyị wụ ndị Biafra ndị hardcore Biafra onye abazikwara moto aka n'elu onye ọbụla na-eme travel n'ihi na ọwụ na ndị Awụsa Fulani wetara bọs ha ji na-anwụrụ ndị ka anyị were na-aga egbuchi onye nwere ntị enughe ya na ihe onye na-enwekwana ntị enughe ya hapụ ihe mmiri ya na-erunu ọ ga-ama onye ihu ma onye azụ site n'ike na-amara Chukwu okike abịa enyela anyị Biafra anyị ga-enwekwa mmiri onwe anyị n'ozuzu oke n'aha ya were shụa isi ike Chukwu okike abịa ma gbara m gị ume ụtụtụ na ihe n'abalị. Thank you very much.
We must continue. Shalom. Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Yes, Father.
Good evening from here.
Good
Go
morning.
ahead, please.
Good morning from here. Yes. Good morning, fellow Biafrans. Good evening, wherever you are. My name's Nnamdi Eze. I am calling from United Arab Emirates. By the grace of Chukwu Kabiam, I serve the business people of Biafra as a media secretary here in the zone. We reside in United Arab Emirates.
We can hardly hear you, my brother. We can hardly hear you. We can hardly hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
It's better now. It's better.
Clear now?
Go ahead.
I said good morning, fellow Biafrans, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are across the globe. My name's Nnamdi Eze. I'm calling from United Arab Emirates. By the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra as a IPOB Rasakaima Zona Media Secretary. So this evening or this morning, Master George Onyibe, I just want to thank God. I just want to thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for the life of our leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu. I just want to thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for the life of our leader, our deputy leader, Mazi Uche. So I joined late, but I want to say thank you for your work, for your tenacity, for your doggedness, and the struggle of the restoration of Biafra. So I would just want to encourage every Biafrans, wherever you are. If you are an Igbo man, if you are an Igbo woman, if you are an Igbo, if you are a German, if you have not done it, wherever you are, and in the planet of the earth, you are doing yourself harm. So I want to encourage our brothers and sisters to join this struggle. So your topic today really inspired me. Really inspired me. So this is what one thing that our leader talked about. One of his brokers he said, sorry for digressing from your topic. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
One of his brokers, when he said that he said that there was a veteran that came to him. He said the veteran said to him that the one thing is to fight and die. But and these people that we fight who are fighting for, can they remember us? Your brokers yesterday, our people, our fathers, the British, killed on the miners, at Enugu, that they slaughtered. These are one of the major things that IPOB, my leader, Nnamdi Kanu, promised our veterans, even those who have passed on and those who are alive, that we always remember them. There is one of his brokers that I don't know. As long as man walk on this planet, we will up to the 3.5 million people that they killed, men, women, children, and young women that did nothing, children that were innocent. These are one of the things that each day I remember. I play that clip. I play it in the morning. The thing, it keeps me going on the last struggle, no matter what. So I want to thank you, Onyibe. Each day I hear your voice. Each day I hear your broadcast. It gives me more. It makes me more hardened to be a hardcore of this project.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Every Biafrans. I don't have much to say, but I want to say thanks Nakano. Thank Chukwu Okike who have sent you this at this particular time, at this particular point of time. And I want to encourage every Biafran here in UAE to join IPOB, because that is the only thing that can save us. That is the only thing that can save us. IPOB is the only thing. Biafra restoration is the only thing that can save us, because we don't have any other place. We don't have any other thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking my this evening.
We must continue. Yes, sir. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Good evening from here. Go ahead, please. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Zoo Epileptic Network, I must tell you. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Go ahead, good evening from here.
Hello, I'm hearing you.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Please, I want to join IPO. I want to be an IPOB member. That can I locate?
Did you get our WhatsApp number?
No.
You have a pen with you there?
Okay.
Do you have a pen with you there?
Pen. Yes. Hello?
Yes, do you have a pen with you?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry. Send a message to this line. I will respond to you after now.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
you very much. We must continue. Our people must remain focused. Our people must understand that these people will never change. What they intend to do, they will do. And we must be ready to do what we're supposed to do. If you think there is a shelter for any of you in this contraction called Nigeria, if you think there will ever be any tomorrow for you as a Biafran in Nigeria, not even Fulani, not until we are gone as a people, Britain will never leave, except to send them packing. And for those men and women who has given their life to make sure we are here today, like our brother said, they will never be forgotten. This is the only thing we owe them. Their name will be on the lips of endless generation of Biafrans, because nobody can stop us. And their deed will last beyond the pyramids of Egypt. For in the end, man will bear testament to the fact that we are not here to conquer anybody. We just want to be. And so don't let them deceive you. They say, hey, Constitution bill is the same group of criminals. Driver, good night from here and God be with you.
Without fear before our enemies, we have sworn an oath to restore Biafra, or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. if the option they give to us is to seek our restoration by violence, every living thing living in the zoo will be destroyed. All the animals will be destroyed. This is a promise and a pledge we're making to them.
Freedom, Biafra freedom.
Henchman on the beat.
We need our freedom. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We want our freedom. Yeah, yeah. Biafra freedom. Biafra freedom. 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 We need our freedom. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah. We want our freedom. Yeah, yeah. Biafra freedom. I was about to go.
Oh my God, let them come and rescue us. I was a bit walking in moves.
I was about to watch out.
Walking in moves, money and spread everywhere. They're killing our people. They're killing our people.
I was about to Anambra. I was about to Saba.
They're killing our people with one time. They're killing our people. Oh my God. I was a bit walking in moves. Money is walking in moves. Money and spread everywhere. They're killing our people. They're killing our people. Let you all come for rescue. Let you all come for rescue. Living Israel, America. Let you all come for rescue. They're killing our people with one night. They're killing our people. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let them come and rescue. I was a bit walking in moves. Money is walking in moves. Money is spread everywhere. They're killing our people.
You're one product. You're one family.
They are not here to offer any advice or to ask us to forgive God. They are not here to ask us to forgive Haruna. They are not here to ask us to forgive the Yoruba people and the Wolowo family. The reason why we exist is to ensure that their memory, that they can never ever be forgotten. As long as man walks this earth, this world will remember the 3.5 million people that they killed. Men and women that did nothing, children that were innocent. Their only crime is to be blessed by God. That is the only crime they have committed. And those children were being slaughtered as they were being stabbed by a very wicked and cruel world. They are headed by a Wolowo. Everybody looked on and did nothing.
Biafra freedom. Freedom forever. Nnamdi Kanu. Mohammadike. If not you, my brother, now we are for days today. They are killing our brothers and sisters, raping our mother, raping our sisters and children. I was about to go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let them come and rescue us. I was a bit walking in moves. Money is walking in moves. Money is spread everywhere. They're killing our people. They're killing our people. Let you all come for rescue. Let you all come for rescue. Let the Israel, America. Let you all come for rescue. They're killing our people in one night.
Lo and behold, Chukwuabiama determined that we cannot die, that we cannot perish, because we are his own. Despite all our iniquities, despite all our sins, he made us in his image. He gave us that very edict to worship him. For those who don't understand what Chukwuabiama means, he is the creator, the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth. And to him we owe everything that we are. And upon him and to him does every honor and glory belong to.
Whichever of my brother hail you, God bless you.
This is Henchman Production.